I wake up at 3 in the morning sometimes as a carnivore, wide awake, and sometimes I can't fall back asleep. And in today's video, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you are not sleeping like you used to as a carnivore. And I'm going to tell you how to fix it. And what qualifies me to tell you this? Well, I've been eating a carnivore diet for over 800 days now myself. It's completely saved my life. I'm down over 100 pounds since my heaviest. I overcame depression, anxiety. I was on like 15 different medications. No more IBS, no more gout. It's changed my life forever. It's given me a second chance at life, and I'm so fired up about this, I decided I'm gonna be filming a documentary. And I've been traveling all around the world, filming doctors, experts, individuals. I even had a sleep doctor on my channel. And personally, I have experienced issues or abnormalities with my sleep. I wake up at 3 in the morning sometimes as a carnivore, wide awake, and sometimes I can't fall back asleep. And I wanted to figure it out, and so I've done a lot of research, and I have 4 reasons why you're waking up at 3 in the morning as a carnivore and you're not falling back asleep, and what to do about it. Now, the first thing I want to say is this. Something that you have to understand that I learned that I never knew before is that humans, since the start of time, we've been breathing air, drinking water, eating meat, and we've also been, number 4, biphasic sleepers. We have, throughout history, all of time, until recently, in the grand scheme of things, we would biphasic sleep. We would break our sleep up into multiple chunks throughout the day. It wasn't until the Industrial Revolution and we've artificial lights like this one, and we started working jobs with arbitrary hours. You got to be here for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and you got to sleep for this set amount of time, that we changed everything. Normally humans would wake up in the middle of the night and have biphasic sleep. So it's really not unusual in the grand scheme of things. I know it's unusual to you and it's unusual to me because my entire life, the goal would be to go to bed and sleep throughout the night and then wake up like a normal human being. So keep that in mind. This whole biphasic thing isn't really that abnormal. There's some people, like my good friend Dr. Robert Kiltz, that says, who cares if I wake up at 3 in the morning? He just wakes up and he does his artwork. He plays music. He throws clay and makes pots and cups, and then he takes naps. And lots of carnivores take naps. But besides all of that, this is what I've come up with. Number 1, it's an energy deal. Number 2, could pertain to coffee. Number 3, fat. And number 4, time of eating. Now let me expand on each of these more, and I might give you a little bonus if you stay tuned until the end. But number 1, the first thing I realized on carnivore is energy expenditure. Prior to eating carnivore, I was eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, oftentimes snacks, side dishes, grazing throughout the day because I was addicted. That puts an incredible toll and energy expenditure on your digestive system. When you're eating throughout the day, especially when you're eating roughage and plants and seed oils and food dyes and things that humans were never intended to eat, that takes a toll on your digestive system. And so by the end of the day, by the end of the night, when your head hits the pillow, you're more likely to sleep through the night because you're expending all of this energy. And when you go on carnivore, you're eating the most nutrient-dense food in the world, the easiest food to digest, the least inflammatory food. Your body just breaks down meat and fat so easily, your digestive system is like, yes, finally I get a break. But the overall toll or energy, if you got to put fuel into the engine, you got to have energy, you're using so much less energy on a carnivore diet. It's almost like you're going from a gas-guzzling engine to a hybrid mix of battery, and you just need a little bit of fuel, and that fuel goes so much further. I think that's a big reason that many people on carnivore wake up in the middle of the night. Excess energy. And one of the ways that I've proven this, and one of the solutions I want to give you to help with this, is exercise. I never exercised as a carnivore until I got healthy. Now I exercise all the time. I go to the gym and I have energy. And I had a period of time where I was going to the gym every single day. And I started noticing that when I would go to the gym, I'd sleep through the night. And when I'd have a random off day, which was rare because I was like going on a roll for quite a while, say I'd go to the gym 5 days in a row. On day 6, I didn't go to the gym. I would wake up And I noticed this trend continue. The day that I would miss going to the gym would be the day that I'd wake up. The times that I went to the gym, I'd sleep through the night. So it makes sense. You're a little bit more tired because that you're burning off that energy, but it goes back to that theory of energy expenditure. I believe us carnivores, we have excess energy, which is actually a good thing. Just because you're not sleeping through the night doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. It's unusual and it's kind of off-putting for a lot of people, but perhaps you're getting enough sleep that your body's just like, I'm good, I'm fine, I've had enough. The second thing I want to talk about is today's video is proudly brought to you by Rivero.com. Rivero is an online clinic founded by the amazing Dr. Sean Baker. The thing I love about Rivero is, personally, I suffered for so many years from so many chronic health issues. The reason I suffered for so long was because the doctors I went to never treated the root cause of the problem. Rivero uses a high-protein diet backed by research, and they treat the root cause of the issue. The great thing with Rivero is you get a dedicated team with daily clinical support and coaching. They'll monitor your progress with regular lab work and make sure that you are on a path to healing. Sadly, humanity is very sick right now, and chronic disease is likely affecting you or someone you love. And it doesn't need to be that way. The truth is, our current healthcare system failed me and it's failing the patients. You see your doctor every 3 months for maybe 15 minutes. Instead of treating the root cause, they often mask the symptoms with pills or medication that end up perpetuating the problem. Right now, Rivero.com is offering 10% off. Head on over to Rivero.com/HomesteadHow. That is Rivero, Revero.com/HomesteadHow to get 10% off your first month at Rivero. The second thing I want to talk about is coffee. Now, I don't do coffee, I'm carnivore, but I'm not judging. Most carnivores still do coffee. My wife, she's carnivore, she does coffee. I have heard so many people say, my sister said this as well. She was waking up having the biphasic sleep and she cut out the coffee and she said, there's no way in the world this coffee is doing it. I have such little coffee and I stop at like 3 p.m. How could that be keeping me up through the night? I feel like coffee on carnivore is maybe more potent in some ways. Back to the original thing, like before we were putting all of these other foods into our body and a little bit of coffee on top of it. Well, is that diluting the coffee? Is it making the coffee less powerful? Is it making the caffeine less as effective? I don't know. I'm not a scientist, I'm not an expert, but I feel like, and I've heard from several, that although they're still doing coffee on carnivore and they're maybe doing way less and they're stopping it earlier, it's still affecting their sleep. And that happened to my sister. She did a video on it and she said, I never in a million years thought this was a coffee because I have so little. I quit it early in the day, but she quit it completely on carnivore and her sleep came back. The other thing I wanted to talk about was time of day. And you guys can Google this, you can do your own research. I've started studying this and testing it on myself personally. The time of day that we eat, I think really impacts our sleep. And you guys might have heard of this crazy guy, the vegan guy that's spending millions of dollars to take all these supplements and he stays out of the sun and he does a lot of things that are completely unnatural and that frankly I honestly kind of disagree with. But one of the things that he has learned in his studies is that his sleep is drastically improved when he stops eating earlier in the day. And I think he said he just eats till like noon and that's it. Now, I'm not saying every one of you has to just eat till noon and then that's it, but you should think about the time that you're eating. I believe that has a big impact on our sleep, and I've been testing it more recently. I have cut off my eating at 3 p.m. Sometimes I'll eat breakfast, and then I'll have like a late lunch, maybe something at 2 o'clock, a bunch of food, and then nothing after that. And when I do that, and my cutoff is like 3 p.m., my sleep is improved, or I sleep all throughout the night, even without the exercising. That's something that I just recently started testing. I'm going to test out more, but I was just doing some research because I thought this is really interesting. I wonder if they've done any studies on this. And there are studies on this, our circadian rhythm and melatonin production and all of those things being affected by the time of day that we eat. So that was another thing I want to talk about. So those are 3 things. I've got a 4th one for you here as well. So the first thing was like energy expenditure. We just have excess energy on carnivore, and that may be why we're biphasic sleeping. Number 2 was coffee. And number 3 was the time of day we're eating. And number 4, shout out my friend Nia from Nia's Way. She was having trouble sleeping. She did an excellent video on this. I'm gonna link to her entire video in the description below, give full credit where due. But she did a lot of testing and studying and really testing her own body to figure this out. And she found out adding more fat drastically helped with her sleep. So that was the 4th thing. The 4th thing that might help you with your sleep on carnivore is your fat. Are you getting enough fat? So energy expenditure, coffee, what time of day are you eating, and are you getting enough fat? Those are the 4 tips I would give you if you're having trouble sleeping on carnivore. Exercise for me has been the biggest game changer. Really think about it. Like, hey, I slept bad last night. What was your energy expenditure that day that you went to bed? Was it a lazy day where you're sitting around and watching TV and not doing enough? Or were you at the gym, were you jogging, were you running, and you still had a sleep problem? Because I think those tie into it. So I hope those 4 things help you. I've talked to lots of carnivores, lots of experts, lots of doctors, and those are the 4 top reasons that I find that help people improve their sleep on a carnivore diet. Leave a comment down below. What has helped you on a carnivore diet? Has your sleep improved? Has your sleep changed? And are there any tips or tricks you have for our audience that help you get a better night's sleep on a carnivore diet? Thank you so much for watching.